Hey everyone, my name is Alden Bass, and I am privileged to guide you through this final course, your MACC Capstone project. This is a 7-week course that's meant to bring together a lot of what you've been working on over the past few years in your courses into a final capstone project. It's not a normal course. There's no lectures or there's no regular homework. What I'll be doing is facilitating, guiding you through this process of creating your capstone project. What we hope that this project does is, as I said, bring together the learning that you've done. You've worked on cultural context, reading the Bible in its original cultural context, but also thinking about your own context. And so that's a lot of what this final project will be doing, is actually bridging the biblical context and the place that you find yourself today. So I'm going to walk you through a little bit of what to expect in this course. We don't actually begin until next week, but I just want you to be able to look at everything and go ahead and sketch out your summer dates and get a sense of how you want this work to move along for you. Let me just grab the paper first, and then kind of how we'll move through the next few weeks. So in this paper, we want you to begin by identifying a need or an issue within your local context, within your church, within a nonprofit, within your community even. And this can be any number of things. People have worked on, in the past, issues around benevolence, helping the poor. People have worked on environmental issues. In fact, the example that I've given you is on climate discipleship. You can take a look at that. It could be an issue around youth, social media, any kind of issue or need that you see in your community. So once you've identified that, and hopefully this is something that you care about, maybe that you've already done some thinking about, we want you to find a biblical text that you think can address that. This is not a verse or even a whole pericope. It can be a concept, a biblical concept, like if you were doing some sort of social justice issue, focusing on that broadly, justice in the Old Testament. But it could be a pericope. It could be a parable of Jesus. It could be something from Paul or from the book of Revelation. So finding that text and spending the paper laying out the context for that passage, so you're doing a little exegetical work, but really thinking about how that will help you with the situation that you're in, with the need or issue in your contemporary context. And then the last part of the paper will be you brainstorming how to address that issue. So you've identified the issue, you found some biblical wisdom, and in the third part, we want to think about applying that biblical wisdom. And that could look like a plan of action. We're going to preach a series of sermons on this, or we're going to have a Bible class on this, or we're going to do a retreat, or we're going to form a ministry to address an issue. Now, you don't have to do these things. It's an imaginative exercise. But if this is a real need in your community, you may find that it does give you something to work on. Other students have gone on to create ministries out of this project. It's a very practical project. You can look at the syllabus for more details here about what the objectives are and what we're hoping to accomplish. But hopefully that'll give you an overview of what this paper and presentation will look like. So what you'll end with at the end, close to the end of the summer, is you'll have written a paper, and then you will have turned that paper into a video presentation, which you'll send to me. So let me note a couple of corrections to the syllabus. So we've changed a few things because our program's changed. One is the syllabus says the paper should be 20 to 25 pages in length. Well, 15 to 20 is going to be sufficient. So shorter paper is sufficient, 15 to 20 pages. I think you'll find once you're working through those big areas, that's not a lot of space actually to lay out a problem with research, to do your exegetical work with research, and then to formulate a plan moving forward with research. You'll find 15 to 20 pages is going to be tight. But 15 to 20 is what we're going to shoot for now. The other thing is, on the presentation in the syllabus, you'll find language about a faculty panel. We're not going to do that this summer. It's hard to get everyone together in the summer. So everyone will just create a video, and those will be shared amongst us. And in that video, you're presenting the material from your paper. You'll have a PowerPoint or a handout, and it just kind of brings everything together. So that's what you'll come out with in this class. A little bit of, hopefully you have a sense of what you'll be doing. Now, from week to week, there are benchmarks that I'd like for you to meet. So you need to really get a handle on your topic by the first week. So that's next week. By the end of next week, you should know what you're going to be writing on. By the end of the second week, you should have already begun your research. By the third week, I'm looking for an annotated bibliography to see your research direction. And then for the fourth, fifth, and sixth, well, for the fourth and fifth week, I'll just be looking for check-ins that your work is going okay. By week 6, I'd like to see a rough draft of your paper. And then week 7, the paper and the presentation are due by the end of the 7th week, which is going to be August the 2nd this year. I will be available to help you. And initially, I would like to have a phone conversation with you or a video chat about the topic that you want to work on. So we'll schedule those probably week after next, and we'll talk through it and kind of create a plan for your research. After that, what I've asked you to do is actually to find a time where I think there's 6 of you, can meet together and just have an accountability group. I will join if necessary, but really this is just to make sure that you're all on target. You can use the collaborate feature on Blackboard, or you could just set up a Google Meets link. This is optional, but it is helpful to have that cohort mentality, that accountability from your peers. It'll also help you be more creative and help you to develop your ideas if you're bouncing things off of each other. So that should be no more than an hour a week if you elect to do that, which I strongly recommend. And that would really only probably be for 5 weeks in the middle of the course, not the first or the last week. Well, I think that is all for now. The course is open, so you should be able to look at everything. Again, check out the dates. If you find any errors or you're confused, please let me know. And if you want to go ahead and schedule a time to talk, I'll be available this week. Next week I'll be traveling, so I won't be very available for video conferencing. I could have a phone conversation perhaps next week, but I would prefer to meet with you all the next week, which will be the week of the 24th. So try to find a time then to schedule a conversation with me. So, well, that's enough for now, and I'm excited to see what kind of projects you produce. It's been a pleasure to work with you in the past, and best wishes.